I now invite Regent Gossett, Chancellor Kerwin, and Presidents Emeriti Turner and Bogomoni for the official installation and charge.
Mr. Schmoke, will you please come forward? Those of us who have the privilege to serve know that we follow the accomplishments of others. So we have President Emeritus Robert Bogomoni and President Emeritus Dr. H. Mabane Turner to assist us in the installation. Mr. Marshall, will you please present the robe for investiture? By the power vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Maryland, I am pleased to install you as the 8th President of the University of Baltimore with all the rights, privileges, and obligations thereunto pertaining. We'll now present you with the symbol of your office. Minor technical difficulties with high tech here. It's a zipper. There we go. Right. Okay. I will now ask Chancellor Kerwin to come to the podium and charge President Schmoke with his responsibilities.
Okay, thank you.
Look awesome. Kurt Schmoke, you are a native of the great city of Baltimore and one of its most eminent sons, a product of its schools and a graduate of City College. You went on to earn degrees from Yale University, where you won a Rhodes Scholarship, and the Harvard Law School. You have served this city as its mayor and higher education, as a faculty member and dean of the law school and vice president at Howard University. Looking back on your distinguished career, I would say every step in your life's journey has led us to this moment when you are formally installed as president of the University of Baltimore. I find it hard to imagine a more perfect union between a person and a position. The city you led and the university you now lead share more than a name in common. The mission of this university is inextricably linked to the needs of the city and the regions beyond. Improvement in the quality of life through education, economic growth, and workforce development, all issues that you are especially well suited to address. As president, I charge you to execute your delegated authorities as a leader of this venerable institution with the highest standard of professional, ethical, and academic integrity, and to advocate with all of the force you can marshal on behalf of the university community, which has placed its faith and trust in you. I charge you to honor the contributions of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, recognizing that the university's stellar reputation and enormous potential today exist because of the efforts of generations of individuals who have dedicated their professional lives and personal resources to advancing this institution. I charge you to be ever mindful of the historical traditions and responsibilities of the University of Baltimore, while at the same time to provide leadership in expanding the institution's horizons and in finding innovative means to address the needs of the city, region, and state. And through the recruitment and retention of exceptional faculty, staff, and students, I charge you to advance the quality of the university, leading it to become one of the nation's preeminent metropolitan universities, serving a community that reflects the rich diversity of our city and state. None of these responsibilities will be easy to meet. Undoubtedly, there will be times of great success and moments of real disappointment. That is the nature of a position with the enormous responsibility requirements that you now occupy. But throughout your tenure as president, I charge you to always represent the best interests of this great university and the University System of Maryland with all of the talent and energy you can muster. In return for your commitment to meeting the obligations I have just delineated, I pledge my personal support and that of my successor, Robert Corrett, as you work to carry out your responsibilities on behalf of the university. I also pledge that through the good times and bad, the University System of Maryland will be your partner and ally. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor and privilege to present to you the University of Baltimore's 8th president, and what a lucky number that is for us, Kurt Schmoke. How about that, huh? Are you charged up?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. Chancellor. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Well, with an ovation like that and a location like this, I'm tempted to break out in song. However, I am here to gain friends for the University of Baltimore, not to lose them. This is a wonderful occasion for our university, and I really thank each and every one of you. To Sydney, I thank you for the generous introduction. I congratulate you. You know, this young lady is one of our outstanding students. In July 1, she becomes a member of the Board of Regents. It means she becomes my boss. It happens in higher education. Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, thank you very much. Lieutenant Governor and I have had a number of occasions to meet over the past few weeks, and I told him I'm still getting used to this state being a two-party state, and he says he's perfectly comfortable with it. So, Mayor Rawlings Blake, I do appreciate your being here, and thank you. You're doing an outstanding job, and I was just thinking as they were putting this medallion on me that I believe the one that we got when we became mayor, it had a target on it. Chancellor Kerwin and colleagues from the University System of Maryland, my colleagues from higher education here, elected officials, all of you are distinguished guests. I thank you for joining us today. I want to thank the City College Jazz Band for the great music. And I thank to the event sponsors today, and particularly to this wonderful committee that worked so hard to organize today's events. To the Board of Regents and Chancellor Kerwin, and to the UB community, I thank you for the honor of selecting me as the University of Baltimore's 8th president. And I want to give special and particular thanks to my beautiful eye doctor, who also happens to be my wife. Patricia, this doesn't happen without you. So friends, we're here today not to celebrate an individual, but to celebrate an institution. At its founding in 1925, our university was appropriately described not only as the University of Baltimore, but as Dan mentioned, University for Baltimore. Just consider these words from UB's first course catalog, and I quote, "In response to the request of prospective students, the University of Baltimore was founded by a group of educational specialists to provide opportunities for employed men and women to obtain a practical type of college education at night. In so doing, this new educational institution will contribute toward the growth of the city and the development of its commercial and financial interests." At UB's, as we enter our 10th decade, we really embrace our legacy even as we look towards the future. We recognize, however, that the idea of Baltimore has changed over the decades. Organizations which hire our students, higher education institutions with whom we partner, and Baltimore's leaders in the private and public sectors no longer serve just that limited geographic area. Their scope is global. So as the idea of Baltimore has grown and expanded, so has the university's reach. We are proud of the contributions we've made to our local community, and we look forward to even greater contributions in the future under the banner of knowledge that works. And in this work, I am very fortunate to stand on the shoulders of two visionary leaders, Presidents Meb Turner and Bob Bogomolny. Now, I asked Meb and Bob to join me today to underscore our intent to build on their great legacy. Under their leadership, world-class faculty were hired, outstanding students were admitted, the physical presence of the great city's midtown was transformed, and countless leaders were nurtured. UB alumni, 63,000 and counting, positively impact the quality of life throughout our region and our state and our country. So I ask you to please join me in recognizing Dr. H. Meb Turner and Dr. Robert Bogomolny. As I've told many of you over the past 8 months, I've learned something new about the University of Baltimore every day. Part of this is the complex nature of the job. Now, some observers, and I mentioned this to my friend Dr. Frederick, the president of Howard, when he was sworn in, and he's here today, some observers liken being a university president to being mayor of a large city. In my experience, there's one major similarity. In both jobs, you better get right a decision, a very significant decision on two matters: parking and snow removal. Everything else is gravy. As I've traveled around the state visiting community colleges and other educational leaders, I'm constantly hearing that UB is a hidden jewel in the crown of the university system of Maryland. But with all due respect, we intend to be hidden no longer. We want everyone to know who we are and why UB is so valuable. So who are we? Well, we are a university where the spring break means more than fun in the sun. This past semester, a group of UB students traveled to Mullins, West Virginia, where they helped build the area's first greenhouse, bringing fresh produce to a region in need. And UB Law students participated in a range of activities, including helping Eastern Shore migrants with visa and benefit eligibility. And this is who we are. We're UB faculty and staff and students. We're cleaning up the Jones Falls and Chesapeake Bay watershed, spearheading efforts to reduce truancy in our public schools, encouraging the next generation of entrepreneurs and business innovators, and strengthening the state's public and nonprofit sectors. We're also the University of Baltimore Foundation, whose members are central to UB's past success and future vision. In addition to providing invaluable financial support and stewardship, the foundation is genuinely engaged in the life of the university. Through its Fund for Excellence, the foundation supports research, community engagement, and innovation. Initiatives include outreach to engage Hispanic students, a statewide conference on veterans issues and the courts, and KidStream UB, a pilot project designed for new technologies for children with children. We're forward thinking. We know that the world is changing and that we must change with it. So while many of you may know UB's historic strengths in law and business, you may not know of our expertise in areas such as digital communication, social entrepreneurship, global affairs, and human security. Now, we don't measure our worth by magazine rankings, but we accept when our excellence is recognized. Programs in every UB school and college have achieved national recognition, including our Master of Public Administration program, our MBA program, our MFA in Creative Writing and Publishing Arts, and our Clinical Law program. And it's not just those programs that are recognized. You know, recently in this year's Daily Record list of the 100 most influential women in Maryland, 13 on that list were members of the UB community. That's nice institutional representation. So who are we? Well, we are lawyers and poets, accountants and designers, criminologists and psychologists, health system managers and human resource administrators, forensic investigators, and video game developers. As proud as we are of what we've become, UB has always looked to the future. We set high aspirations for all, students, faculty, and staff. And this is particularly important as we look to the future. So what can we envision for UB over the next decade? Just a few comments. First, we must continue to build a university known for excellence in learning, teaching, and scholarship, a campus environment in which the success of our distinctive student population and the achievements of our accomplished faculty are paramount. Even as technology alters the higher education landscape, it's my hope that UB students will continue to engage directly with the city as an educational partner, enriching their learning experience and contributing to the health and well-being of our region. This vision of education excellence needs to recognize the importance of maintaining the affordability of a UB education. So no UB student should be forced to abandon his or her professional ambitions because of financial limitations or student debt. We want high quality at an affordable price. We must also recognize that the students we will serve in the coming decade will become increasingly diverse by many measures, including life experience. I'm particularly committed to making the University of Baltimore a destination of choice for the increasing number of military veterans who will be re-entering civilian life. We owe these women and men the opportunity to realize their goals and their dreams, and that happens best through a great education. Second, we must build upon existing partnerships and create new ones, recognizing that we can achieve more together than we can on our own. In a time of limited resources, our partnerships with the state's community colleges and our sister four-year institutions will be critical to increasing opportunities for our students. And we will continue to partner with the private sector and private developers to enhance our physical presence and the vitality of Midtown Baltimore. And finally, we will lay the groundwork for a major capital campaign that will culminate in the celebration of UB's centennial in 2025. We'll commit to doubling our endowment so that in UB's 100th year, its endowment will reach $100 million. As much as we will celebrate UB's history, this campaign will focus on the next 100 years, securing for future generations the resources they will need to succeed in a world we can only imagine today. Clearly, there's much more I could say about the University of Baltimore, but I will honor my great friend, Judge Robert Hammerman, who taught me years ago that a speech, in order to be immortal, need not be eternal. So I will close these words also from UB's 1925 catalog, and let me quote, "That which makes a city great and prosperous is not beautiful buildings or spacious markets, but an intelligent and resourceful citizenship. The one thing that makes for material gain, commercial welfare, and social happiness is education." Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your willingness to join the UB community in making a great and prosperous university even greater. God bless you.